Hey, it's Bruce from TPC. I'm here today with Travis Irwin. He is our head of purchasing. He is an Enduro mountain bike racer, our resident Silver Fox.
Oh, I like that one the best so far.
So, the perfect person to talk to us today about Fox suspension forks.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
That was good.
If you're looking for a fork upgrade like I am, Fox is probably one of the first places you look, right?
Oh, they make the best stuff.
Yeah,
I love
they've
it.
been making mountain bike forks for over 20 years. They've been making moto suspension
For decades.
For decades. And many of the world's best riders, you and me, they ride Fox. So it's a great place to start on your fork upgrade journey. And today we're going to talk about Fox's top of the line factory series forks. So first off, what does that mean? What is a factory series fork?
So as you mentioned, factory is top of the line. So they're using the best materials, the lightest lowers, the Kashima coated stanchions.
Kashima.
Yeah, and also the best damper as well. So we'll get into the details on each one of those. Right in front of you, we've got 3 different versions of the fork. We've got the 34, we've got the 36, and here the big burly 38.
These forks, they got a major update, I think in 2022, last year.
Yep.
What are some of the things that are sort of hot on these new forks?
Yeah, so for this year, there's a few changes. One of the major changes is the brake arch itself. It's gone to a rounded arch instead of the angular arch that they had in previous years. That adds to some stiffness, torsional stiffness in the fork. They also went with the floating axle. That floating axle, again, adds to rigidity in the fork as well. That's only on the 38 and on the 36. And then I think the most interesting piece that they've added is on the back here, there's these purging valves that Bruce refers to as
Fart buttons.
fart buttons,
But
which is the technical term.
They're pressure relief valves for air that builds up in the lowers.
Yeah, so if you're gaining elevation or even based on the temperature, there's pressure that can build up in the lowers. And so this is a quick and easy way to just press this button here, releases the lowers, and then allows you to get full travel out of the fork.
Now this 34, it doesn't have the floating axle. It doesn't have the pressure relief valves, but it does still have this round arch, and it also has this air bypass channel that you see on the other forks also.
Yeah, so it has a similar effect. It's just built into the fork instead of having the valve itself.
Yeah, and so I should also mention factory forks, they come in, the standard black, but they also come in this factory orange color, which
Yeah, that's faster, much faster orange.
definitely looks very pro. So you have a couple color options there. All these forks, they also come in 44 or 51 millimeter offset options.
Yep.
And with factory forks, you have 2 damper options also.
Yeah, so there's the Fit 4 damper, and then on the factory fork, the Grip 2 is the top of the line.
Yeah, so the Fit 4, it costs a little less. It's a 3-position damper. You've got open, trail, and climb settings. You've got a little bit of adjustability with the low-speed compression and the low-speed rebound. But the Grip 2 really is sort of the holy grail for puzzlers, tinkers, anyone who wants to set up their bike to perfectly suit their trail or riding style.
That's right. Yeah, with suspension in general, you want it to track to all terrain. And so having the ability to have fully adjustment, the factory has both high-speed compression, low-speed rebound, and high-speed rebound. So you can dial this in for optimum performance on the trail or on a certain type of bike.
So between these 3 forks, how do you know which one is for you?
Well, orange is always for me to answer that, but truth is the 34 is probably for a hardcore XC rider or someone doing heavy trail. The 36 mil is for a trail rider to all mountain rider, enduro rider potentially, and then the 38's for the big hitter, enduro, free ride, or even heavy dirt jumping, park rat, yeah.
Yeah, and we should mention the names. 34, that's the stanchion diameter.
That's the diameter, yeah.
So obviously, as it's thicker, it gets stiffer.
Sure.
So
again, if you're on an e-bike or even heavier set, something with a larger diameter stanchion is going to track a little bit better.
definitely, like, this is what I had on my downcountry bike. It's a 34. It comes in 130 and 140 millimeter travel options. The 36, it comes in 150 and 160 right now.
That's right, yeah.
And the 38 comes in 160, 170, and 180.
The 180, yeah, the big bad boy.
So all these forks, It's about just over $1,000 for the 34, just over $1,100 for the 36, and just over $1,200 for the 38. Those are all the Grip 2 versions.
Yeah.
The Fit 4 versions are going to be slightly more affordable.
It seems like a heavy investment, but the truth is with all the functionality that you get out of this fork, it's really going to bring your bike to life in a way that you probably wouldn't experience otherwise.
So which one are you riding right now?
I'm actually riding both. I have the 36 on my trail and all mountain. I like the flexibility of the 36. It's not as rigid, so I like that fork. I've got the 38 on my purebred Enduro because when you're just trying to straight line, you want the fork to track, and there's nothing that's more accurate than the 38.
Yeah, so right now I'm riding the 36. You know, I earn my turns. I want to keep my bike sort of light, but sendy at the same time.
Yeah.
So it kind of, you know, splits the difference here. It works for me.
And you're still learning. Like once you get up to speed, you'll be on one of these.
Someday I will be a silver fox just like you, Travis. But if you want to check out these forks, we have them at www.tpc.bike, and we have a lot more. So be sure to take a look, and we will see you out on the trails.
38s.